Welcome back to Science in Sleeping. Tonight, we're drifting into the ancient story of water. A story older than the Earth itself. A story that flows through every corner of our planet, and even through our own bodies. I hope this helps you drift off gently, or at least carries your mind to calm and gentle curiosity. Tonight, we are not just exploring facts. We are immersing ourselves in the liquid memory of our world. Before we begin, I'd love to know where you're watching from and what time it is. Perhaps you're lying in your cozy bedroom, or perhaps in a small apartment somewhere bustling with the city. Wherever you are, allow yourself to pause, to take this hour or these hours as a gift to yourself. You don't need to remember any of this. You don't need to take notes. There is no exam at the end. There is only the gentle unfolding of a story, and the soft, rhythmic cadence of words to lull your mind. Imagine the slow flow of a river, or the gentle dripping of water from a leaf after a spring rain. Let that rhythm echo inside you as we begin. Water, in its most humble form, may appear simple, yet it carries the history of the cosmos. Before our Earth solidified from the swirling clouds of dust and gas, before mountains rose or oceans formed, water already existed, hidden in ice grains and clouds of gas drifting through space. These tiny particles, ancient as the stars themselves, came together over eons, and some eventually found their way to our young Earth. Think of each drop of water around you as a traveler from the dawn of time, billions of years old, and yet here it is, softly cascading over rocks, brushing against your skin in a morning shower, or quenching the thirst of a summer afternoon. Tonight, we are companions to this ancient traveler, moving gently through its journey. Close your eyes if you like. Let your breathing match the ebb and flow of rivers and tides. Feel the calm that comes with observing water. Even in thought, it teaches patience, resilience, and continuity. Consider the hydrogen and oxygen atoms that make each molecule of water. Hydrogen, the lightest element, born in the first minutes after the Big Bang. Oxygen, forged in the hearts of massive stars, both traveling across the cosmos before meeting to form H2O, now resting in your glass of water by the bedside. Or the droplets forming on a window in the night. Every sip, every raindrop, a story older than our Earth, more ancient than human memory. Tonight, we will travel from the earliest clouds of the universe to the first oceans forming on a molten young Earth. We will watch icebergs drift silently, rivers carve valleys, and oceans swell under the pull of unseen tides. There is no rush. There is no need to understand everything. Simply allow your mind to wander through these ages. Imagine a world without land, only water stretching endlessly beneath the first sun, a quiet, undisturbed planet. And somewhere within that vastness, life finds a way. Perhaps starting in tiny droplets in shallow pools. Life coaxed into being by water that had already traveled across time and space. Let your thoughts float along these currents, carrying with them tension, anxiety, or restless energy, releasing them gently into the flow. Now, settle in, get comfortable. Feel your body sink into the mattress or chair. Allow your mind to drift alongside water. Imagine its soft movements, the gentle shimmer of moonlight on a calm lake, the slow drip of water from stalactites in a quiet cave. Let these images fill your mind with calm. As we begin our journey into the history of water, a story that is at once scientific, poetic, and deeply comforting, remember, you are safe, you are present, and for these hours you are allowed to rest. Have you ever wondered where the water in your glass has been before it reached you? Could it have traveled across the stars, or lingered in ancient oceans long before humans walked the earth? Sometimes when we drink, we are not just quenching our thirst. We are sipping on history, on journeys older than memory itself. Tonight, let's follow that path together. Not with maps or compasses, but with imagination and gentle curiosity. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a calm, moonlit lake, the surface smooth like glass, reflecting stars scattered across the sky. Imagine that each tiny ripple holds secrets, secrets of clouds that drifted over continents, rivers that carved valleys, and oceans that swelled under the pull of tides. Think of the water molecules dancing lightly, forming delicate patterns, invisible yet profoundly present as you breathe. Imagine your own breath mingling with the mist rising from the lake, connecting you to this vast, timeless flow. Water, in its essence, is simple, yet endlessly complex. A molecule made of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom, H2O, yet its simplicity hides its cosmic history. Did you know that hydrogen, the lightest element, formed mere minutes after the Big Bang, a fleeting moment in the birth of the universe? These atoms drifted through space, carried by stellar winds, joined by oxygen, forged in the fiery hearts of massive stars, exploding as supernova to scatter their elements across the cosmos. Billions of years later, some of these atoms found their way to our young planet, joining to form the first droplets of water, the same water that now laps gently at our lakes and oceans. As Earth cooled, water began its restless journey. First as vapor in a dense, hot atmosphere, then condensing into rain, falling for thousands of years onto a molten surface, carving the first valleys, filling the first basins, forming shallow oceans, and with it, laying the stage for life. Consider this: every river you have ever seen, every raindrop on your window, carries the memory of those first oceans. Did you know that the molecules in your body may have once flowed through dinosaurs, through the earliest microbes, or even in clouds drifting across a primordial Earth? Each sip, each touch of water is a reunion with the ancient past. Water is not static. It moves, cycles, transforms, from liquid to gas to solid and back again, evaporating from oceans, condensing into clouds, falling as rain or snow, flowing through rivers and underground aquifers, seeping into the soil, nourishing plants, returning to the sky in a continuous, gentle rhythm. This cycle has repeated for billions of years, a quiet, unbroken heartbeat of our planet. Did you know that some water on Earth may be older than the sun, preserved in deep rocks or locked in glaciers, a silent witness to the slow unfolding of time? When you touch water, you are connecting to this pulse, this rhythm, this ancient continuity. Let us pause to imagine the microscopic world within each drop. Countless molecules moving in elegant choreography, hydrogen bonds forming and breaking, clusters arranging themselves like dancers in a slow, endless ballet. Water has memory, not in the way humans remember, but in the way it carries energy, patterns, and interactions across space and time. This fluid memory connects mountains to rivers, clouds to oceans, and eventually, all life that depends on it. When you sip water, feel the gentle embrace of these countless interactions, the invisible threads linking you to the rest of the planet and beyond. Even within our bodies, water is a silent companion. Roughly 60% of a human adult is water, a medium for chemical reactions, a cushion for organs, a highway for nutrients, and a temperature regulator. Every heartbeat, every breath, every thought is accompanied by water moving, balancing, adapting. This intimate, flowing presence reminds us that we are not separate from the planet. We are part of its ongoing story. Did you know that during intense exercise, your body's water molecules can turn over completely in just a few days? A quiet testament to the ever-changing, ever-moving cycle of life. Tonight, as you breathe and relax, let yourself feel this connection, this gentle reminder that you are both ancient and immediate. Now, imagine rain falling softly onto a forest canopy, droplets collecting and merging, trickling down leaves, forming rivulets that join streams, streams that join rivers, rivers that join oceans. Water is a master of patience, of persistence, shaping landscapes over millennia, sculpting rocks, nourishing life, reflecting sunlight, creating clouds, influencing weather, and yet it never rushes. It simply moves in its natural rhythm. Imagine yourself as a droplet, floating gently along, embracing the flow, feeling the calm in the movement. Poets and scientists alike have been mesmerized by water, by its simplicity and its depth. It is both mirror and mystery, holding reflections of the stars above and the worlds within. Imagine a drop falling from a leaf into a quiet pond, the ripples spreading outward, touching the distant edges. Each ripple, a metaphor for the unseen connections in life, the quiet influence of time, the subtle shaping of existence. Water is patient, resilient, endlessly giving, teaching us without words about balance, movement, and the beauty of impermanence. Tonight, as you listen to these words, let your mind drift along these ripples, carrying tension, stress, or restlessness gently away. Water is also memory, not in a conscious way, but in the way it carries the imprints of its journey. Molecules interact, form temporary bonds, move through rivers, oceans, glaciers, clouds, and soil, each encounter leaving a subtle trace. Imagine drinking a glass of water that has traveled from a mountain stream, flowing over rocks and soil, past tiny plants, into a river, eventually reaching a reservoir, perhaps even passing through the hands of humans long ago. There is a suspenseful intimacy in this journey, a quiet connection between past and present. The mundane act of drinking becomes an encounter with billions of years of history. Now imagine the water trapped in underground aquifers, vast hidden reservoirs beneath deserts, plains, and mountains, untouched by sunlight, shielded from the world above. Some of these waters have remained isolated for tens of thousands of years, slowly moving through rock and sand, absorbing minerals, shaping the stone it touches. Did you know that ancient aquifers have been found containing water that fell as rain before the rise of human civilization? It is as if water is a hidden library, quietly recording the passage of time. the slow changes of climate, and the resilience of life. A suspenseful secret buried beneath the surface, waiting for discovery. Even clouds carry mystery. Imagine looking up at a sky filled with drifting formations, each one a floating assembly of countless droplets, rising from oceans, lakes, and rivers, traveling across continents, merging with others, splitting apart, shaping the weather of distant lands. The droplets you see might have fallen as rain in a faraway desert, or shaded a rainforest centuries ago. Did you know that clouds are constantly recycling water? Some droplets traveling thousands of miles before returning to Earth, each one a silent traveler, a messenger from one part of the world to another, carrying energy, moisture, and stories of distant lands. As we reflect on the journey of water in oceans, ice, rivers, and clouds, consider the quiet suspense it carries, the hidden histories it preserves, the life it sustains. Imagine your own body as part of this flow, the water you drink tonight joining this eternal cycle, connecting you to oceans, glaciers, and clouds, to ancient rains, to distant lands, to the depths of space from which its atoms once came. Each breath and heartbeat a reminder of this intimate connection as we drift toward the next chapter. Imagine following a single droplet from a glacier to a river, into the ocean, rising again as vapor into clouds, traveling across continents, and finally falling gently onto your hand, each stage filled with suspense, mystery, and timeless patience. Tonight, allow your mind to float with that drop, moving slowly, calmly, absorbing the beauty of its journey and the quiet assurance that even in the deepest and darkest places, water is always moving, always connecting, always nurturing. Have you ever wondered what secrets rivers have carried through the ages? Could the water flowing gently past your feet today have once nourished ancient forests, or coursed past creatures long extinct? Have you ever imagined that rivers are not just channels of water, but silent storytellers, tracing the passage of time, shaping landscapes, and quietly preserving the memory of Earth itself? Tonight, let us follow the journey of water through these living veins of the planet, a journey full of suspense, wonder, and endless transformation. Picture yourself standing on the banks of a wide, slow-moving river at twilight, the surface reflecting streaks of orange and purple from the fading sun, mist rising in delicate swirls, the air filled with the scent of damp earth and wildflowers. Imagine the gentle murmur of the water as it winds around bends, over stones, past reeds and trees, each ripple carrying whispers of distant mountains, hidden springs, and even the memory of storms long ago. The river is alive, not just in movement, but in history. It holds stories older than cities, older than civilizations, waiting patiently for your imagination to touch them. Rivers are nature's persistent sculptors, moving water and sediment, carving valleys, creating fertile plains, shaping the land over millennia. Did you know that some rivers have been flowing in their courses for millions of years, unchanged in path, yet endlessly transforming the landscapes around them? Imagine the suspense of that slow, deliberate shaping, water cutting through rock, depositing layers of soil, creating habitats for countless creatures, each movement gentle, patient, yet immensely powerful over time. The river is both artist and archivist, quietly recording Earth's transformations in its flow. Consider the hidden life within rivers. From microscopic organisms drifting with the current to fish navigating intricate channels, water carries nutrients, oxygen, and signals that sustain entire ecosystems. Imagine the suspense of this invisible world, teeming with activity beneath the calm surface. Every droplet creating a delicate balance that has existed for countless generations. Did you know that some freshwater species have survived dramatic climate changes and glacial cycles? Their ancestors riding the very waters you see today, a living testament to the resilience and patience of water. Now, let's think about rivers as time machines, conveyors of ancient memories. Imagine a droplet falling as rain on a distant mountain peak, seeping into the soil, joining a stream, winding through forests and valleys, carrying traces of minerals, tiny organisms, and chemical histories, eventually reaching a vast river flowing toward the sea. Each stage of the journey holding fragments of distant landscapes, ancient rocks, and storms long past. The suspense of this journey is quiet yet profound, a reminder that water is not just present, but a keeper of history, connecting the past with the present in ways invisible to the eye. Rivers also act as bridges between worlds, flowing from mountains to oceans, connecting ecosystems, climates, and life forms. Imagine a salmon swimming upstream, guided by currents and chemical signals, returning to the place of its birth, completing a journey spanning hundreds of miles. Water guiding, shaping, sustaining. Did you know that rivers can influence weather patterns, create microclimates, and even impact human civilizations? Many of the earliest settlements grew along rivers, drawn by their life-giving flow, each civilization interacting with water, shaping and being shaped by it, a silent dialogue spanning generations. Even the tiniest stream carries suspense. Imagine a hidden brook in a quiet forest, flowing over moss-covered stones, hiding small creatures beneath its ripples, collecting rainfall from distant peaks, moving it slowly toward larger rivers. Its path unpredictable, yet deliberate. Water is patient, it adapts. It finds the way, never forcing, yet always moving forward. Did you know that streams can carve gorges, create waterfalls, and even alter the course of entire landscapes? The gentle movement of water carries an immense, almost imperceptible power, quietly shaping the world. Let's reflect on water as a carrier of mystery. Imagine a fog rising from a river at dawn. The world around, softened, muted, every sound, gentle and distant. Droplets suspended in the air, shimmering like tiny prisms, carrying the scent of earth and vegetation. The suspense is almost palpable. You cannot see everything, yet you know life teems in and around the river, from fish beneath the surface to birds gliding above. Every moment of movement, both revealing and concealing. The river teaches us to appreciate patience, subtlety, and the hidden depths of our world. Consider how rivers connect to the larger cycles of water, flowing into lakes, wetlands, and eventually oceans. Their journey continuous, never-ending, each droplet part of an immense network spanning the planet. Did you know that water in a river today may have fallen as rain on a mountain thousands of miles away, or decades ago? The suspense of tracing that journey is endless, a gentle reminder of water's timeless persistence, its quiet influence on landscapes, ecosystems, and even human life. As you relax tonight, imagine the river carrying away stress, tension, or restless thoughts, flowing endlessly toward calm. As the river meanders, imagine its water mingling with oceans, blending currents, carrying warmth, nutrients, and energy across vast distances. Water is never isolated. It is part of a network larger than we can fully comprehend. It links continents, climates, and life, each movement deliberate yet effortless. The suspense of this vast connectivity invites curiosity, wonder, and reflection. Every ripple, every current, a note in the symphony of the planet, every droplet, a witness to the unfolding story of Earth. As we drift toward the next chapter, picture a single droplet leaving the river, evaporating into the air, forming clouds, rising high above mountains and oceans, ready to fall again as rain. The journey never truly ends. It is cyclical, infinite, and endlessly suspenseful. Tonight, allow your mind to follow that droplet, imagining its travels, its patience, its quiet, persistent influence, and let the rhythm of flowing water guide you into calm, gentle sleep, a gentle lullaby of rivers, oceans, and the timeless dance of water across our world. As we move forward in our journey, we will follow water through glaciers and rivers, clouds and oceans, from ancient times to modern moments. Each step a gentle passage, each story a soft lullaby. Let the imagery guide you. Let curiosity float beside you like a gentle breeze, and allow the rhythmic flow of knowledge and imagination to ease you into rest. Have you ever wondered what secrets water might carry from the depths of the universe? Could the rain that brushes your skin tonight hold whispers from stars that exploded billions of years ago? Have you ever paused to imagine that every drop is a tiny time machine, traveling across space and time, silently connecting the distant past with the present moment? Tonight, let's follow water into places you rarely think about, places hidden and mysterious, places where its story becomes almost magical. Picture yourself standing on the edge of a vast, icy plain under a sky scattered with stars, the wind whispering softly, carrying the scent of distant oceans and snow. Imagine the snowflakes falling gently, each one unique, each one a crystallized memory of clouds that drifted over continents long before human eyes had ever seen them. The frozen air is crisp, and yet it is alive with history, as if each flake contains stories older than mountains, older than continents, older than the earth itself. Can you feel the quiet weight of this ancient presence? The patience of water moving slowly, shaping worlds without haste. Water's journey is far from simple. It is a tale of transformation, of hidden travels, and of unexpected intersections. Did you know that some water molecules now on Earth may have originated in interstellar clouds, drifting through space before becoming part of our oceans, perhaps even visiting other planets long before finding a home here? Imagine the suspense of that journey, billions of years of drifting, waiting, until the perfect moment to join with others and form life-sustaining seas. The universe is vast, and yet these molecules found their way to this planet, your planet, a silent miracle of alignment and timing. Think of water in the most extreme places, deep below the Earth's surface, trapped in rock formations, untouched for eons, locked away from sunlight and wind. A hidden reservoir, older than human civilization. Scientists sometimes drill into these rocks and pull up water that has not touched the surface in hundreds of millions of years. Did you know that some of this water may contain microorganisms that have survived in total darkness, in isolation, almost like a secret world beneath our feet? It is as if water itself is keeping a record of time, a guardian of forgotten stories. Each molecule a witness to ages that we can barely imagine. Now, imagine water in another extreme. The deep oceans, where sunlight barely reaches, where pressure is immense, and temperatures are near freezing, yet life flourishes. Strange creatures with translucent bodies and glowing lights navigate the blackness. And water carries nutrients, energy, and sustenance through these mysterious worlds. Each current a river in the dark, moving invisibly, connecting distant corners of the ocean. Did you know that ocean currents can take hundreds of years to complete their circuit, slowly mixing and carrying memories of polar ice, equatorial warmth, and distant storms? The water you see today may have been somewhere else entirely decades ago, a silent traveler that connects all corners of the earth. Let's take a moment to imagine clouds, the ethereal counterparts to oceans, drifting high above the earth, soft, delicate, and constantly moving, yet immensely powerful. Clouds are water in transformation, vapor rising from oceans and lakes, merging into vast, floating sculptures, carrying the weight of mountains and storms across continents. Sometimes the same clouds that bring rain to one city may have once shaded deserts or forests far away. The cycle is continuous, infinite in its possibilities. Did you know that clouds themselves are made up of billions of microscopic droplets, each one reflecting light and energy in a delicate dance? Like tiny stars in the sky, water is both gentle and suspenseful. It hides its power beneath calm surfaces, a quiet tension that shapes the world. Imagine a glacier slowly creeping down a valley, imperceptibly moving rocks, and sculpting landscapes over millennia. One could almost hear the whispers of time trapped within the ice, the slow compression and expansion holding secrets of climates long past, of eras where animals roamed lands that are now oceans. The suspense of its patience is almost poetic. Water is never hurried, yet it is always transforming, leaving traces of its journey for those who pause to notice. Even in rivers, water carries mystery. Imagine standing beside a flowing stream at twilight, the surface shimmering with reflected light, each ripple hiding tiny adventures, leaves drifting on the current, insects skimming the surface, and unseen currents carrying sediments, nutrients, and perhaps even messages in chemical signals from upstream rivers are lifelines and storytellers, connecting mountains to plains, forests to cities, carrying secrets from snowmelt high in the peaks to the oceans far below. The gentle suspense of what lies beneath the surface can be mesmerizing, a quiet reminder of the unseen worlds flowing alongside our own. And finally, let's think about water within us. In our own bodies, it is a living, moving presence, quietly sustaining thought, heartbeat, and breath. The water you drink tonight is part of a continuous cycle that has been moving across the planet for billions of years. It may have flowed through ancient rivers, fallen as rain in prehistoric forests, or lingered in icy glaciers. Each molecule a companion from a past far beyond memory. Can you feel the subtle wonder of that connection? The intimacy of sharing this ancient journey with all life. A quiet thrill that is both calming and exhilarating as we drift toward the next chapter. Imagine a single drop of water traveling through space and time, from star to cloud to ocean, to river to leaf to your hand, each step filled with patience, curiosity, and subtle mystery. The world is vast, yet intimately connected by this gentle, flowing presence. Tonight, as you relax, allow your mind to follow this drop, moving effortlessly, slowly, carrying with it the suspense of hidden journeys, the wonder of ancient origins, and the soothing rhythm of endless cycles. Have you ever wondered what secrets lie hidden in the heart of the oceans, beneath waves that sparkle in the moonlight, or in waters so deep that sunlight never reaches them? Could there be ancient stories trapped in those depths, waiting for us to imagine them tonight? Let's follow water into the hidden realms of the deep, exploring places few humans have ever glimpsed, yet all life depends upon. There is a quiet suspense in knowing that mysteries exist even within what seems familiar. A reminder that the world is far more vast and intricate than it appears. Picture yourself descending slowly into the twilight of the ocean, the water around you growing darker, cooler, and heavier with each passing moment. Light fades into a deep, serene blue, then into a velvet darkness, yet the pressure, the density, the very essence of water remains constant, guiding, supporting, carrying nutrients and life. Imagine the soft undulations of jellyfish, their translucent forms drifting like gentle lanterns, and deep below, the glowing lights of unknown creatures, bioluminescent sparks that appear and vanish as if communicating in a secret language. The ocean is alive with stories, quietly, patiently waiting for our imagination to meet it. Water, even in its deepest form, is never stagnant. It flows, it cycles, it moves in patterns that have persisted for millennia. Did you know that deep ocean currents, like slow-moving rivers beneath the waves, take centuries to complete their circuit, transporting heat, nutrients, and tiny particles from one side of the globe to the other? Imagine the suspense of these journeys. Droplets moving invisibly through a labyrinth of pressure and darkness, carrying secrets of distant polar ice, volcanic eruptions, and ancient storms. The same water that touches the depths today may once have nourished prehistoric fish, or traveled across lands long buried beneath the sea. Even the ocean floor holds mysteries. Imagine a world of towering mountains made of rock, of valleys deeper than anything on land, all sculpted by water over eons. Hydrothermal vents breathe heat and chemicals into the darkness, forming ecosystems completely independent of sunlight. Strange creatures gather around these vents, thriving in conditions humans could barely survive. It is almost magical to think that life can exist in such extreme places, fed entirely by the energy of the earth itself. Water here acts as both medium and messenger, connecting heat, minerals, and life in a delicate, balanced dance. Did you know that some organisms in these vents can survive without oxygen, creating energy entirely from chemical reactions? a quiet reminder of how water supports life in forms we cannot fully imagine. Let's imagine the suspense of an iceberg floating silently through polar seas, its massive bulk hidden beneath the surface, holding within it ancient fresh water, snow compacted over millennia, and perhaps even air bubbles containing traces of ancient atmospheres. Each iceberg is like a frozen library, preserving secrets of climate, time, and distant storms. Picture it slowly drifting, melting imperceptibly, releasing water that once fell as snow in a world humans never saw. The calm surface hides immense power and deep, slow transformation. Water is patient. It keeps its secrets well, yet reveals them gently to those who observe with curiosity. Have you ever wondered what secrets lie frozen within glaciers? Mountains of ice that have witnessed centuries and even millennia pass silently above the world. Could the snow and ice beneath your feet tonight contain memories of climates long forgotten, or even tiny traces of life from ages before humans walked the earth? Imagine the suspense of these colossal frozen landscapes, guarding their history in silence, waiting for patient eyes to uncover their stories. Tonight, let us journey into the icy realms of our planet, exploring the hidden wisdom and mysteries held in frozen water. Picture yourself standing on the edge of a massive glacier at twilight. The sky painted with soft shades of pink and purple, the air crisp and pure, every breath carrying the chill of ages. Imagine the slow, almost imperceptible movement of ice beneath your feet, mountains of frozen water creeping downward in a timeless rhythm, the surface glinting faintly, reflecting the fading light, cracks and crevasses hinting at hidden depths, and beneath the seemingly solid exterior, stories of ancient snow, trapped air bubbles, and mineral deposits lie preserved, each telling a chapter of Earth's long and patient history. Glaciers are the planet's slowest yet most patient sculptors, their immense weight and movement carving valleys, shaping mountains, and influencing the flow of rivers. Did you know that some glaciers move only a few inches each day? Yet over centuries, they leave landscapes transformed, a quiet suspense in every creak and shift, each subtle movement a testament to the enduring patience of water. Imagine standing there, feeling the cool wind brushing your face, knowing that beneath your feet ice formed long before human civilization, carrying tiny fragments of atmosphere, dust, and life from distant eras. Even the ice itself holds secrets. Imagine the microscopic bubbles trapped within, preserving the air of ancient Earth, samples of prehistoric climates, the whispers of storms, volcanic eruptions, and perhaps even distant wildfires. Did you know that scientists can study these bubbles to learn about the temperature, composition, and atmosphere from hundreds of thousands of years ago? The suspense is quiet but immense, a frozen archive waiting patiently, revealing its knowledge to those willing to observe. Every layer a page in the diary of Earth, a testament to water's ability to preserve time. Water in glaciers also interacts with rock in a slow, almost imperceptible dance, melting slightly at the base, flowing as hidden rivers beneath massive ice sheets, carving tunnels and caverns that remain unseen for centuries. Imagine the suspense of these hidden worlds. Darkness illuminated only by the occasional shimmer of trapped light, flowing water shaping landscapes far below the surface, quietly, patiently, without urgency. These subterranean rivers carry nutrients, sediments, and even tiny life forms. A reminder that water is never truly still, even in the coldest, most seemingly inert places. Consider the suspense of ice calving, when enormous chunks of glaciers break off into the ocean. Massive blocks of water moving with both power and grace, forming icebergs that drift silently for decades or centuries, carrying frozen memories from the heart of mountains and glaciers to distant seas. Did you know that some icebergs can weigh billions of tons and take thousands of years to melt completely, each one a floating archive of climate, minerals, and sometimes even microscopic life? Imagine watching one drift slowly past, knowing it contains secrets older than civilizations, quietly moving toward the unknown. Glaciers are also intimately connected to the rhythms of life, feeding rivers, lakes, and oceans, sustaining ecosystems across continents. Imagine the suspenseful journey of glacial meltwater, trickling into streams, joining rivers, nourishing forests, plains, and cities. A single drop that fell as snow thousands of years ago may now quench the thirst of a traveler. The continuity of this cycle is both comforting and awe-inspiring. Every ripple, every flow, a reminder of water's patient and persistent influence. Now, think about ancient ice sheets during ice ages, covering vast portions of the planet, influencing climate, wind, and ocean currents. Imagine the suspense of life adapting beneath and around these massive glaciers, creatures evolving in isolation, species migrating to escape the cold, ecosystems finding balance in the frozen extremes. Did you know that during the last glacial maximum, around 20,000 years ago, ice sheets covered nearly a third of Earth's land surface, reshaping landscapes, sea levels, and life itself? The scale is almost unimaginable, yet every movement, every melt, every flow of water carried stories that continue to shape our world today. Even today, glaciers are slowly retreating, revealing landscapes long hidden, ancient soils, plant life, and evidence of life that thrived in ages past. Imagine the suspense of what lies beneath, untouched for millennia, waiting for discovery. Water reveals and conceals simultaneously, moving with patience and precision, a quiet teacher of resilience and continuity. The retreating ice invites reflection on the passage of time, on the impermanence of forms, and the enduring presence of the cycles that sustain life. Glaciers also teach us about balance, how water can be both solid and liquid, both gentle and immensely powerful. Imagine standing in a quiet glacial valley, feeling the subtle vibrations of ice moving, hearing the occasional crack or distant rumble, a reminder that even the most still and frozen landscapes are alive with movement and potential. Water is patient, suspenseful, and profoundly connected to everything it touches, carrying nutrients, energy, and memories across continents and millennia. As we drift toward the next chapter, imagine following a single droplet of glacial meltwater, slipping from the ice, flowing into a stream, joining a river, and eventually reaching the ocean, traveling across vast distances, evaporating into clouds, and returning as rain to distant lands. The journey is continuous, infinite, and filled with quiet suspense. Tonight, let your mind float with that droplet, imagining its patient travels, its gentle influence, and the timeless wisdom contained in frozen water, a lullaby of glaciers, rivers, and the endless, intricate dance of water across our world. Have you ever wondered what it might have been like when the first oceans formed on Earth? Vast, mysterious bodies of water stretching beyond the horizon, hiding depths no human eye has ever seen. Could these waters have carried the first whispers of life? Could tiny molecules, swirling and colliding in endless patience, have held the secrets of beginnings that no one could imagine? Tonight, let us drift into these ancient oceans, a world of suspense, mystery, and quiet beauty, where water is both creator and witness. Picture yourself standing on the shore of a primordial ocean, the sky hazy with volcanic smoke and distant storms, the air humid and heavy droplets of condensation clinging to every surface. Imagine the waves rolling gently, yet with immense hidden power, lapping against newly formed rocks, caressing the edges of the first shallow bays. The sound of water is constant, a low, rhythmic hum that has echoed for billions of years. Imagine the suspense of the unseen depths, teeming with possibilities, where the first chemistry of life may have begun, invisible yet profound. Water in these early oceans was a playground for molecules, a vast liquid laboratory where hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon collided and recombined in endless permutations. Did you know that some of the simplest molecules, like amino acids, may have formed spontaneously in these waters, floating among tiny currents, waiting for the right conditions to spark the first whispers of life? Imagine the suspense of these molecules drifting gently, interacting, separating, recombining in an invisible dance that would eventually lead to cells, organisms, and eventually the rich complexity of life we know today. The oceans were not uniform. There were zones of heat and cold, chemical gradients, areas rich in minerals, and places bathed in sunlight or shrouded in darkness. Imagine the suspense of this patchwork world. Tiny molecules navigating chemical mazes, encountering energy sources from lightning, volcanic vents, and ultraviolet light, each interaction a potential catalyst for creation. The water itself was patient, carrying molecules across shallow pools, tidal flats, and hidden crevices, providing both stability and movement, nurturing the improbable emergence of life in its gentle, persistent rhythm. Even the smallest ripples of these early oceans held immense potential. Imagine a drop evaporating into the air, forming clouds, only to return as rain, dissolving minerals and depositing them in new locations. Water was endlessly recycling, endlessly experimenting, carrying hints of life from one place to another. Did you know that some water molecules from these earliest oceans may still exist on Earth today, circulating in rivers, clouds, and even within your own body? A hidden continuity that stretches back billions of years, suspenseful in its quiet, unbroken persistence. Now, imagine deep-sea hydrothermal vents, cracks in the ocean floor releasing heat, minerals, and chemical energy, creating pockets of warmth in an otherwise dark and cold world. Imagine the suspense of life emerging here, tiny cells forming in the shadows, dependent entirely on the water and the minerals it carried. Not sunlight, yet flourishing in ways both resilient and mysterious. Water served as both medium and guide, nurturing complexity while maintaining the balance of chemical forces. Each current, each bubble, a step toward life, a quiet miracle of patient interaction. Consider the rise of tides and waves, driven by the moon's pull, shaping the coastlines, mixing waters, and bringing nutrients to shallow areas. Imagine the suspenseful rhythm of these cycles, endlessly moving, constantly changing, yet consistent in their patterns. Every tidal rise and fall, a reminder of water's influence, its ability to shape landscapes, deliver sustenance, and guide the emergence of life. These rhythms, both gentle and powerful, became a silent heartbeat for the earliest ecosystems, a subtle yet profound teacher of patience, resilience, and continuity. Water also carries memory in these oceans, not conscious memory, but the trace of interactions, collisions, and combinations. Every molecule touched another. Every current moved energy and material across distances. Imagine a single molecule drifting for millennia, part of countless reactions, carrying the story of ancient vents, tidal flats, and hidden pools, eventually joining a primitive cell. Then countless generations of life. The suspense is gentle, yet immense. A reminder that even the smallest drop of water holds within it eons of history. Even the surface of these oceans was suspenseful, with waves reflecting sunlight, winds carrying tiny droplets into the sky, forming clouds, returning as rain, depositing minerals and organic molecules into shallow pools, creating the perfect conditions for early life to flourish. Imagine the dance of water in these cycles, endless, patient, and profound. Every droplet part of a network stretching across the planet, shaping life, shaping landscapes, shaping the very air we breathe. The continuity is both calming and awe-inspiring, a quiet reassurance of nature's persistent creativity. Let us now imagine the first signs of life, tiny, single-celled organisms drifting in the ocean, invisible yet brimming with potential, interacting with each other and their environment, evolving, adapting, persisting. Imagine the suspense of this invisible world, where life and water are inseparable, nurturing each other, shaping each other, creating complexity from simplicity. Did you know that some of these early microorganisms contributed to the oxygenation of the oceans and atmosphere? A profound transformation that would eventually allow for more complex life to exist. Water as patient architect and guardian of life as we drift toward the next chapter. Imagine a single droplet in the ancient ocean, moving through currents, interacting with molecules, becoming part of early cells, evaporating into clouds, falling as rain, and continuing its journey across the planet. Each movement suspenseful, delicate, yet essential. Tonight, let your mind follow that droplet, drifting through space and time, observing its quiet influence on the birth of life, on the shaping of oceans, on the emergence of the first living organisms. A gentle lullaby of creation, continuity, and the enduring patience of water. Have you ever wondered how water sculpted the very bones of our planet? How oceans, rivers, and glaciers slowly shaped continents, creating mountains, valleys, and plains? Could every raindrop, every stream, and every tide have played a part in the formation of landscapes that would one day host forests, animals, and humans. Imagine the suspense of this slow, patient process, unfolding over millions of years, unseen and unnoticed, yet profoundly transformative. Tonight, let us drift into the geological story of water, exploring its role as sculptor, traveler, and keeper of Earth's secrets. Picture yourself standing on the edge of a vast canyon, the wind soft, carrying the scent of distant waters, the layers of rock beneath you whispering stories of ages past. Imagine the river that carved this canyon, moving slowly but relentlessly, carrying sediments, cutting through stone, shaping cliffs and valleys. The surface is calm, but beneath, the hidden power of flowing water has worked for millennia, each drop a patient agent of change, sculpting the landscape with gentle persistence, and every ripple a tiny pulse in the heartbeat of the planet. Water in these ancient times was both artist and architect. Did you know that rivers can carve canyons thousands of feet deep over millions of years, creating structures that seem permanent yet are the result of patient, invisible movement? Imagine the suspense of a single droplet moving with the current, colliding with stones, eroding edges, carrying tiny fragments of rock downstream, contributing in small but essential ways to the shaping of continents. Water is subtle, quiet, yet immensely powerful over time, a reminder that patience can create wonders beyond imagination. Even rainfall carries suspense. Imagine storms rolling over early continents, lightning flashing, clouds heavy with water, drops falling into valleys, eroding hills, replenishing rivers, creating new channels. Did you know that the distribution and intensity of rainfall over millions of years has guided the formation of rivers, lakes, and deltas, every drop contributing to the evolving story of Earth's surface? The suspense is gentle yet profound, a reminder that even the smallest element in nature can influence landscapes on a massive scale. Glaciers, too, played a vital role. Immense sheets of ice moving slowly, shaping mountains, carving valleys, polishing rock, leaving behind deposits of soil and stone. Imagine the suspense of this colossal movement, so slow that it is almost imperceptible, yet unstoppable. Ice pressing against rock, reshaping terrain, influencing the flow of rivers and the formation of lakes. Did you know that some of the most iconic valleys, fjords, and mountain landscapes exist because of glaciers patiently sculpting the earth? The movement is silent, continuous, and deeply powerful, a lesson in patience and transformation. Water also shaped the first soils, eroding rock into particles, depositing nutrients, and creating fertile land for the earliest plants and microorganisms. Imagine the suspense of this unseen process. Tiny particles carried by rivers spread across plains, filling basins, preparing the stage for life to take root. Did you know that the chemical interactions between water and minerals are essential for creating the conditions that sustain ecosystems? Each drop of water contributes to the balance of life, quietly shaping environments over eons, a hidden architect of the world we inhabit. Now, consider tides and waves, moving not just along coastlines, but influencing the distribution of sediments, shaping beaches, and guiding the formation of shallow seas. Imagine the suspense in these rhythmic movements, each wave gentle yet persistent, each tide carrying minerals, energy, and life across distances. Did you know that tidal forces from the moon and sun have shaped coastlines for billions of years? Their subtle, invisible influence creating conditions that allow life to flourish along shores. Water acts as both sculptor and caretaker, a patient force quietly shaping the planet. Even underground water has been moving, dissolving rock, forming caverns, transporting minerals, and creating subterranean rivers. Imagine the suspense of these hidden networks, flowing unseen, shaping the world beneath our feet. Did you know that some underground rivers have been moving continuously for millions of years, slowly altering landscapes above while remaining completely invisible? Water teaches us that influence does not require visibility, that patient movement, even in darkness, can have profound effects. Water also guided the evolution of life through its influence on continents and climates. Imagine shifting rivers creating isolated lakes and wetlands, providing habitats for early plants and animals. The suspenseful interplay of water and land shaping ecosystems in ways that humans could scarcely imagine. Did you know that the location and flow of rivers and lakes influenced migration patterns, genetic diversity, and even the survival of species over millions of years? Water is both environment and teacher, sculpting not only landscapes but life itself. Now, let us reflect on the vast time scale. Imagine a single drop of water falling onto a mountain millions of years ago, trickling into a stream, joining a river, reaching an ocean, evaporating into clouds, falling again in a distant land. Each movement quiet yet essential, a patient participant in the shaping of continents, ecosystems, and life. The suspense is gentle, almost hypnotic, a reminder that water's influence is subtle, profound, and continuous, guiding Earth through the slow, deliberate dance of time. Finally, imagine the continents as we know them, forming gradually, shaped by water's relentless influence, rivers carving valleys, glaciers sculpting mountains, oceans eroding coasts, underground water forming caverns, each process layered upon the other, creating the diverse, complex world we inhabit today. Did you know that even now, water continues this process, shaping land, influencing climate, and guiding life? The suspense is endless, as every drop contributes to a story billions of years in the making. A story we are part of, connected to, and carried along by. As we drift toward the next chapter, imagine following a single droplet, moving from a mountain stream into a river, flowing past ancient forests, cascading over waterfalls, joining the ocean, evaporating into clouds, returning as rain to nourish newly formed plains. The journey continuous, infinite, suspenseful, and profoundly calming. Tonight, allow your mind to follow that droplet, feeling the gentle power of water in shaping continents, guiding life, and teaching patience, resilience, and continuity. A lullaby of rivers, glaciers, oceans, and the timeless dance of water on our planet. Have you ever wondered how water helped life step out of the oceans and onto the land? How tiny organisms that once floated silently in primordial seas eventually ventured into a world of sunlight, wind, and earth. Could every droplet, every river, every rainstorm have played a part in guiding this incredible transition? Imagine the suspense of life, leaving its familiar watery cradle, stepping into an environment both perilous and promising. Tonight, let us drift into the story of water shaping the first ecosystems on land, a tale of quiet suspense, transformation, and patient evolution. Picture yourself at the edge of a vast, misty wetland, the air thick with humidity, droplets of water clinging to moss, leaves, and tiny insects. Imagine the gentle ripple of streams feeding shallow pools, sunlight filtering through clouds and reflecting off the water's surface. A quiet symphony of sound, the hum of tiny creatures, the soft rush of water, the rustle of early plants swaying with the wind, every movement subtle, deliberate, and full of potential. Here, at the boundary between water and land, the first experiments of terrestrial life took place, unseen yet profoundly important. Water's influence was crucial in guiding life onto land. Did you know that tiny plants and mosses relied on moisture from rain, dew, and streams to survive outside the ocean? Their spores carried by droplets, wind, or slowly creeping water, finding safe places to anchor and grow. Imagine the suspense in these early adaptations, life negotiating a new environment, dependent on water's gentle presence to nourish, protect, and sustain. Each droplet a bridge between the familiar safety of the oceans and the mysteries of the land. Even the soil itself was shaped by water, eroding rock into fine particles, creating fertile layers for the earliest terrestrial plants. Imagine water trickling through cracks, forming tiny rivulets, saturating the earth, providing nutrients and a home for microorganisms. The suspense is almost tangible, every molecule playing a role in crafting the foundations of life. Did you know that without these slow, patient movements of water through soil, the first forests, grasslands, and wetlands could never have formed? Every drop was part of a delicate, invisible architecture. Now, imagine small amphibians emerging from shallow pools, guided by water and instinct, exploring the land with caution. Their survival dependent on both moisture and access to rivers and streams. Did you know that these early creatures required water not just to drink, but to keep their skin moist, to reproduce, and to find food? Imagine the suspense in their slow, deliberate exploration, each step a negotiation with gravity, sun, and unseen predators. Water serving as both guide and protector, gently shaping the path of evolution. Water also created microhabitats, tiny ecosystems in puddles, ponds, and wetlands, each with its own temperature, chemical balance, and energy flow. Imagine life experimenting within these pockets, finding ways to adapt, thrive, and interact. The suspense lies in the unpredictability of these environments. Yet in every challenge, water provides stability, continuity, and possibility. Did you know that some of the earliest plants and animals that left the oceans relied on these transient pools to begin their lives on land? Water acting as both anchor and springboard for adaptation. Consider the role of rainfall and seasonal cycles, shaping rivers, filling ponds, saturating soils, and creating floods that redistributed nutrients. Imagine the suspense in the rhythms of rain, unpredictable yet consistent over eons, guiding the migration of species, encouraging adaptation and balancing ecosystems. Did you know that even small variations in rainfall could determine the survival of early terrestrial life, creating subtle pressures that encouraged resilience, innovation, and cooperation among living organisms? Water as both sculptor and teacher, shaping life through gentle persistence. Now, let us drift toward early forests, where water continues its quiet orchestration, nourishing mosses, ferns, and primitive trees, feeding rivers and streams, creating habitats for insects, amphibians, and the first reptiles. Imagine the suspense in these early ecosystems. Every drop of rain influencing growth, reproduction, and survival. The interconnectedness of water and life forming intricate patterns, subtle yet profound. Did you know that water carried chemical signals between plants and microbes, facilitating growth, defense, and cooperation? An invisible network guiding evolution in ways no eye could see. Even the tiniest droplets of morning dew played a role, providing moisture to plants in the absence of rain, creating microclimates, and allowing early organisms to survive harsh conditions. Imagine the suspenseful patience of this system, how each molecule of water contributes to the flourishing of ecosystems, how the quiet, invisible movement of water across surfaces, through soil, and between organisms sets the stage for the grand story of life on land. Every interaction, both delicate and crucial, water also shaped the earliest coastlines, estuaries, and deltas, carrying sediments from rivers to seas, creating shallow areas ideal for fish, amphibians, and early plants. Imagine the suspense in these constantly shifting landscapes, every flood and tide rearranging the environment, creating opportunities and challenges for life. Did you know that estuaries have been called cradles of evolution? Because of the abundant water, nutrients, and shelter they provide. Water as both creator and guardian, quietly orchestrating the dance of life across land and sea. As we reflect on the transition from water to land, imagine following a single droplet, moving from an ocean pool to rainfall, soaking soil, nourishing a primitive plant, then flowing into a river, joining a pond, and returning to the sea, its journey suspenseful, continuous, and essential, each movement quietly shaping landscapes, ecosystems, and evolution. Tonight, allow your mind to drift with that droplet, feeling its gentle influence, its patient persistence, and the endless possibilities it carries for life. A lullaby of rivers, wetlands, rainfall, and the quiet, miraculous emergence of life on land. Have you ever wondered how fresh water shaped the course of life on Earth? How lakes, rivers, and streams became lifelines for plants, animals, and eventually humans? Could every drop, every ripple, every hidden current have quietly influenced evolution in ways invisible yet profound? Imagine the suspense of water moving through these landscapes, connecting distant places, nurturing life, and carrying secrets of time and survival. Tonight, let us drift into the story of freshwater ecosystems, exploring their hidden complexity, patient transformations, and enduring influence. Picture yourself standing beside a calm lake at dusk, the surface smooth like glass, reflecting the soft glow of the sky, mist rising in delicate swirls. Imagine the gentle lapping of waves along the shore, the subtle scent of wet earth, reeds, and algae filling the air. The world feels hushed, yet beneath the surface, life teems: fish darting in shadows, microorganisms drifting invisibly, tiny plants swaying with the currents, every movement subtle, suspenseful, and essential. The lake is a universe in miniature, a microcosm of connection, change, and quiet mystery. Fresh water is a sculptor of landscapes, carving valleys, forming deltas, and creating floodplains. Did you know that the slow flow of rivers over millions of years shapes the topography of entire continents, moving sediment, eroding rock, and depositing fertile soil? Imagine the suspense of this slow, invisible work, water moving inch by inch, creating conditions for forests, wetlands, and grasslands, every drop contributing to the unseen architecture of the planet. Water as patient artist, quietly reshaping the earth. Consider the hidden life in fresh water, from microscopic plankton to insects, amphibians, and fish, each organism interacting with water in subtle, essential ways. Imagine the suspense of these connections. Droplets carrying nutrients, tiny currents dispersing eggs, microorganisms influencing chemical cycles, all forming a delicate web of life. Did you know that freshwater ecosystems often have greater biodiversity per unit area than even some tropical forests? The quiet patience of water, creating conditions for unimaginable complexity. Rivers, in particular, are time machines, carrying memories of distant mountains, glaciers, and rainfall. Imagine a single droplet traveling from a snowmelt high in the peaks, winding through streams, joining rivers, flowing past ancient forests and wetlands, over countless stones, each carrying minerals and life, eventually reaching a lake or the sea. The suspense is gentle yet profound, a reminder that water carries the stories of landscapes, life, and time, invisibly, patiently, and without haste. Now imagine fresh water in the context of early human ancestors. Lakes and rivers providing drinking water, food, and transportation, shaping where humans settled, how they moved, and how civilizations began to form. Did you know that the earliest human settlements were often located along rivers, relying on fish, freshwater plants, and fertile floodplains? Water not only sustaining life, but guiding behavior, settlement, and the evolution of culture. Every current, every spring, every pool, a quiet partner in the story of humanity. Even the tiniest streams have suspenseful stories, trickling through forests, valleys, and hidden caves, nourishing plants and animals, carrying nutrients and chemical signals downstream. Did you know that the chemical composition of fresh water can influence what species thrive in a region, subtly shaping the course of evolution? Imagine following a droplet through these networks, twisting and turning, passing unseen through the landscape, carrying life and possibility with every movement. Water as silent guide, invisible teacher, patient architect. Lakes also hold mysteries, from the tiniest pond to massive inland seas, each a repository of life, minerals, and history. Imagine the suspense in these still waters, where layers of sediment capture the story of climate, droughts, floods, and life over thousands of years. Did you know that scientists study these layers to understand ancient ecosystems, even reconstructing the vegetation and climate of past millennia? Every ripple, Every reflection on the lake's surface is part of a living chronicle, a reminder that water preserves time as well as sustains life. Fresh water also acts as a corridor for migration, for species dispersal, and for ecological connectivity. Imagine a fish navigating from tributary to river to lake, carrying genes, energy, and nutrients, the suspense in its journey, hidden yet vital. Every movement shaping population dynamics, food webs, and ecosystem resilience. Did you know that isolated freshwater populations can evolve unique species? A testament to water's subtle role in the drama of life, guiding evolution, dispersal, and survival. Consider wetlands, where water lingers, creating lush, dynamic habitats. Imagine mosses, reeds, amphibians, birds, and insects thriving in these humid, softly shifting landscapes. Every flood and ebb, a pulse of life, a subtle rhythm connecting land, water, and air. Did you know that wetlands are among the most productive ecosystems on Earth, providing shelter, nutrients, and water filtration? The suspense lies in their constant, delicate balance, water maintaining stability while allowing for change. As we reflect on the journey of fresh water, imagine following a single droplet, falling as rain, trickling through soil, joining a stream, merging into a river, entering a lake, evaporating into the sky, and returning again. Each movement filled with suspense, connectivity, and quiet influence. Every droplet a participant in shaping ecosystems, evolution, and human history. Tonight, allow your mind to drift with that droplet, feeling its gentle guidance, patient persistence, and the immense quiet power of fresh water, a lullaby of rivers, lakes, streams, wetlands, and the endless, intertwined dance of life sustained by water. Have you ever wondered how the vast oceans connect every corner of our planet, carrying warmth, nutrients, and life in currents that span thousands of miles? Could every wave, every ripple, every drop play a hidden role in shaping climates, ecosystems, and even human civilizations? Imagine the suspense of these endless movements, unseen yet essential, guiding the rhythm of Earth itself. Tonight, let us drift into the story of the oceans, exploring their mysteries, their subtle power, and the patient, quiet influence of water on life across the globe. Picture yourself on the deck of a small boat at night, the surface of the ocean calm and dark, reflecting the faint glow of the stars, waves rolling gently under your feet. Imagine the water stretching infinitely in all directions, hiding depths that sunlight has never reached. The faint sound of lapping waves merging with distant echoes of currents far below. Every movement deliberate, silent, and mysterious. Beneath this seemingly tranquil surface lies a vast, interconnected system, moving relentlessly, carrying secrets, nutrients, and life across continents and millennia. Ocean currents act as the planet's circulatory system, moving heat, nutrients, and energy around the globe. Did you know that the Gulf Stream carries warm water from the tropics to northern Europe, moderating climate and supporting entire ecosystems? Imagine the suspense of this journey, droplets traveling thousands of miles, passing through hurricanes, storms, and tranquil seas, influencing weather, marine life, and even the growth of forests far inland. Water as patient messenger, silently shaping both the physical and living world. Even deep currents, invisible to the eye, carry immense influence. Moving slowly along the ocean floor, circulating cold, dense water rich in minerals and oxygen. Did you know that these deep currents can take centuries to complete a full circuit, connecting polar regions to tropical oceans? Every droplet playing a small but vital role in sustaining life across the planet. Imagine the suspense of this hidden flow, a silent, persistent river beneath the waves, connecting life, climate, and ecosystems in ways both profound and unseen. Consider the ocean's role in the carbon cycle, absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and regulating climate. Imagine microscopic plankton drifting in the currents, photosynthesizing sunlight near the surface, eventually sinking to the depths, carrying carbon with them. Did you know that these tiny organisms have an enormous impact on global climate? Every droplet of water they inhabit participating in a quiet, patient process that affects the entire planet. The suspense lies in the delicate balance, the invisible choreography of life. Water and energy, even waves, carry hidden stories. Imagine a droplet caught in a breaking wave, swirling, tumbling, and moving unpredictably, yet part of a larger rhythm. Did you know that waves transport nutrients and oxygen, shape coastlines, and influence the distribution of marine species? Every ripple a subtle force of change, quietly sculpting the physical and biological world. The suspense is gentle, continuous, a reminder that water's influence is both subtle and immense. Now, picture the role of tides, rising and falling under the influence of the moon and sun. Imagine coastal ecosystems responding to these rhythms. Mangroves and salt marshes nourished by tidal flows, fish migrating with the tides, nutrients circulating across the land and sea. Did you know that tides have guided the evolution of countless species, shaping reproductive cycles, feeding patterns, and even migration routes? The suspense in their movements, quiet yet profound. Water's invisible hand orchestrating life's patterns. The ocean floor itself is a place of mystery and suspense. Imagine deep trenches, undersea mountains, and hydrothermal vents, where warm, mineral-rich water supports life independent of sunlight. Did you know that some species found in these extreme environments have existed for millions of years with little change? A testament to the stability, patience, and adaptability of water and life. Imagine the suspense of these hidden worlds, thriving silently in darkness, carrying forward stories older than any land ecosystem. Even the surface waters of the oceans are full of suspenseful complexity. Imagine currents transporting fish, plankton, seeds, and nutrients across vast distances, connecting continents, sustaining fisheries, and influencing weather patterns. Did you know that a single drop of water in the ocean could travel thousands of miles, touching countless forms of life and shaping ecosystems along the way? The gentle rhythm of currents, waves, and tides creating an invisible network that binds the planet together. Every droplet participating in an endless story of connection. Consider the ocean's influence on climate. Imagine warm, tropical waters evaporating, forming clouds that travel continents, releasing rain that nourishes forests, rivers, and agriculture. Did you know that the distribution of heat by ocean currents is crucial in preventing extreme temperature differences across the globe. Every movement of water, from the surface to the deep currents, contributing to the delicate balance that sustains life. The suspense is subtle, patient, and invisible, yet it shapes the world in profound ways. As we reflect on the oceans, imagine following a single droplet, evaporating from a tropical sea, forming a cloud, traveling over mountains and plains, falling as rain into a river, eventually returning to the ocean. Its journey suspenseful, interconnected, and essential. Every stage influencing ecosystems, climate, and life. Tonight, allow your mind to drift with that droplet, feeling its quiet, patient influence, its connection to life, climate, and the endless rhythm of water across the globe, a lullaby of oceans, currents, waves, and the timeless dance of water that unites our planet. Have you ever wondered how water travels not just across the land and oceans, but up into the sky, forming clouds, storms, and rains that shape every corner of the planet? Could every droplet rising into the air carry secrets of distant oceans, forests, or mountains? Imagine the suspense of water leaving its familiar home, suspended in the atmosphere, traveling invisible yet indispensable paths. Tonight, let us drift into the story of water in the sky, exploring weather, clouds, and the delicate, patient rhythms that sustain life. Even the smallest ripples in streams carry significance. Imagine insects skimming the surface, fish navigating currents, nutrients dispersing downstream. The suspense is quiet yet essential. Every movement a subtle contribution to ecosystem health. Did you know that the flow patterns of water influence the distribution of organisms, the formation of habitats, and even the genetic diversity of species? Water quietly guiding life through patient, invisible force. As forests and wetlands mature, water continues its delicate orchestration. Imagine droplets feeding roots, replenishing streams, filling ponds, and maintaining humidity under dense canopies. Did you know that evapotranspiration, the release of water from leaves into the atmosphere, creates microclimates and influences rainfall patterns? Every drop part of a continuous cycle connecting land, air, and life. The suspenseful elegance of water's movement, a testament to patience, persistence, and quiet intelligence. Finally, imagine following a single droplet from rainfall to soil, absorbed by roots, traveling through a plant, released into the air, falling into a stream, joining a river, and returning to the ocean. Its journey suspenseful, endless, and essential. Every stage influencing ecosystems, climate, and life. Tonight, allow your mind to drift with that droplet, feeling its quiet guidance, its patient persistence, and its profound, invisible influence on life across forests, wetlands, rivers, and landscapes. A lullaby of water, shaping life with gentle suspense and timeless patience. Have you ever wondered how water guided the rise of human civilizations, quietly shaping settlements, agriculture, and culture? Could every river, spring, and rainfall have influenced the destiny of entire populations? Imagine the suspense of early humans discovering the life-giving power of water, following its flow, settling along its banks, learning to work with its rhythms. Tonight, let us drift into the story of water and humanity, exploring how this humble molecule shaped our ancestors' survival, innovation, and connection to the earth. Picture yourself beside a gently flowing river thousands of years ago. The morning mist rising from the water, sunlight glinting off the surface. Imagine early humans approaching the banks to drink, bathe, fish, and gather water for crops. The sound of flowing water a constant presence, comforting yet commanding, shaping daily life. The suspense lies in the dependency on this vital resource, every droplet essential for survival. Every current a guide for movement, settlement, and planning. Water dictated the location of the first villages. Did you know that early human settlements consistently emerged near rivers, lakes, or fertile floodplains, providing drinking water, food, irrigation, and transportation? Imagine the suspense in choosing a site, balancing access to water with safety, fertility, and opportunity, the gentle, persistent presence of water offering both stability and possibility, shaping patterns of migration, social structure, and culture. Even rainfall influenced agriculture and survival. Imagine fields carefully tended near seasonal streams, soil enriched by floodwaters, seeds germinating with the first rains, crops maturing under the guidance of water's rhythms. Did you know that the predictability of seasonal rains allowed humans to develop early calendars, planting schedules, and irrigation systems, each drop carrying potential, risk, and reward? Water teaching patience, observation, and adaptation. Consider irrigation. Imagine early humans channeling streams, digging canals, and constructing rudimentary dams to guide water to fields. The suspense in controlling such a vital resource, every action requiring careful observation and knowledge. Did you know that irrigation was one of the first technologies to allow humans to settle permanently and build complex societies? Water as both life-giver and teacher, guiding innovation and foresight. Rivers also served as transportation networks. Imagine small canoes gliding along calm waters, carrying people, goods, and ideas, connecting distant communities. Did you know that trade and cultural exchange along rivers allowed knowledge, art, and technology to spread rapidly? Water shaping not only survival, but the evolution of culture. Every current a silent highway, every droplet participating in an invisible network connecting civilizations. Floods brought suspense and opportunity. Imagine seasonal rivers swelling, inundating fields, depositing fertile silt, yet threatening homes and crops. Early humans learned to anticipate, adapt, and thrive. Did you know that some of the most prosperous early civilizations, like those in Mesopotamia, Egypt, and the Indus Valley, relied on the delicate balance of floodwaters, harnessing water's power while respecting its unpredictability? Water teaching lessons of patience, timing, and resilience. Even wells and springs held mystery and suspense. Imagine a hidden freshwater source in a dry landscape, providing life to people, animals, and plants. Did you know that control of water sources often determined the success, security, and expansion of early settlements? Every droplet carrying not just sustenance, but influence, shaping human decisions, politics, and interactions. Water as both ally and authority, silent yet indispensable. Water also influenced early religion and mythology. Imagine humans observing rivers, lakes, and rainfall as sacred, attributing mystery, power, and divine presence to flowing waters. Did you know that many ancient cultures worshipped rivers, rain gods, and water spirits, embedding water into rituals, prayers, and ceremonies? The suspense, subtle yet profound, water shaping not only survival but imagination, belief, and culture. Every drop inspiring awe, reverence, and reflection, even in times of scarcity. Water created suspense and tension. Imagine droughts forcing migration, conflict, or cooperation. Early humans learning to share, conserve, and respect water. Did you know that civilizations that mastered water management thrived, while others declined? Water teaching lessons of resourcefulness, patience, and foresight. Every droplet a quiet teacher of adaptation, resilience, and survival. Consider the influence of rivers on trade and expansion. Imagine goods, seeds, and ideas traveling downstream. Settlements growing along fertile banks. Civilizations interconnected through water. Did you know that control of river access often dictated wealth, power, and influence? The suspense of human history intertwined with the gentle yet relentless flow of water, each current shaping the course of culture, economy, and social evolution. As we reflect on water's role in human civilization, imagine following a single droplet rising from rainfall, seeping into soil, nourishing crops, flowing into a river, carrying a canoe downstream, touching villages, forests, and wetlands. Every stage suspenseful, vital, and transformative. Each movement influencing life, culture, and survival. Tonight, allow your mind to drift with that droplet, feeling its patient guidance, quiet persistence, and profound impact on the rise of human civilizations. A lullaby of rivers, rainfall, irrigation, and the timeless, invisible hand of water shaping humanity. Have you ever wondered how water shaped the lives of creatures that roamed the earth millions of years before humans? How lakes, rivers, and oceans guided the rise and fall of giant reptiles, enormous plants, and prehistoric ecosystems? Could every rainfall, every tide, every hidden current have influenced the course of life in ways invisible yet profound? Imagine the suspense of water flowing through prehistoric landscapes, creating habitats, nurturing species, and orchestrating the drama of survival. Tonight, let us drift into the story of water in the age of dinosaurs and ancient life. Picture yourself standing beside a vast prehistoric river, the air thick with mist, sunlight filtering through towering ferns and conifers. Imagine the sound of water moving over rocks, the distant roar of waterfalls, and the gentle rustle of enormous leaves. Along the banks, massive dinosaurs drink cautiously. Smaller reptiles hunt in the shallows. Amphibians leap from lily pads. Every movement suspended in a delicate balance. The suspense lies in the interplay of predator and prey, land and water, growth and decay. Every droplet participating in this ancient drama. Water sculpted the landscapes of prehistoric Earth, carving valleys, forming lakes, and creating river deltas. Did you know that ancient rivers shifted courses over millennia, redirecting ecosystems and influencing where species could thrive? Imagine the suspense of life navigating these changes. Dinosaurs and early mammals moving with caution, searching for water, food, and shelter. Every current a guide, Every rainfall, a force of transformation. Water shaping habitats with patient persistence. Even lakes held hidden suspense. Imagine vast freshwater bodies stretching across lowlands, supporting fish, amphibians, and aquatic plants. Did you know that these lakes provided safe havens for juvenile dinosaurs, small reptiles, and early amphibians? The suspense, gentle yet vital, every droplet contributing to survival, growth, and the intricate food webs of ancient ecosystems. Water as silent protector, nurturing life while remaining largely unseen. Rivers were the lifelines of prehistoric continents. Imagine a river winding through a valley, carrying nutrients, sediment, and organic matter, sustaining forests, wetlands, and floodplains. Did you know that the flow patterns of ancient rivers influenced migration routes, breeding grounds, and even the evolution of species? The suspense in each current, gentle but essential. Water quietly orchestrating life on scales both vast and microscopic, guiding the dance of survival. Picture yourself lying on a soft, grassy hill as evening falls, looking up at the sky. Imagine clouds gathering slowly, drifting, twisting, shifting shapes like quiet dancers, the air rich with moisture, carrying scents of distant seas and forests. Feel the subtle anticipation of rainfall, the gentle rustle of leaves, the distant roll of thunder far away. Each movement of air and water, deliberate, every cloud and breeze, a participant in the suspenseful, invisible choreography of weather. Water begins its atmospheric journey as evaporation, rising from oceans, lakes, rivers, and even the damp earth itself. Imagine droplets lifting gently into the air, carrying heat, minerals, and invisible life from the surface. Did you know that the same droplet of water could rise, fall as rain, be absorbed by a plant, return to the soil, and travel back to a river? Its journey potentially taking weeks, months, or years. The suspense lies in the unpredictability, the invisible journey, and the quiet persistence of water in shaping climate and ecosystems. Clouds themselves are full of mystery. Imagine billions of tiny droplets suspended in the sky, colliding, merging, forming the massive structures that drift across continents. Did you know that clouds can weigh millions of tons, yet float effortlessly, held aloft by subtle air currents? Every droplet participating in a delicate balance between gravity and lift. The suspense gentle but immense, an invisible army of water moving silently above our heads, shaping weather and guiding life on Earth. Rain brings suspense to the surface. Imagine droplets falling on a forest canopy, rivers, deserts, and cities, each with its own journey. Some soaking soil, nourishing plants, others flowing into rivers or evaporating again. Did you know that rainfall patterns influence not only ecosystems, but also human settlement, agriculture, and even cultural development? The suspense in each drop is quiet yet powerful. Water patiently shaping the world in cycles, both visible and unseen. Storms add a heightened sense of suspense. Imagine distant thunderstorms over mountains, lightning flashing, winds stirring, rain cascading down in sheets, water moving with immense energy and unpredictability. Did you know that storms redistribute heat and water across vast distances, influencing ocean currents, river flows, and climate patterns? each droplet in a storm a participant in a vast network of movement, energy, and life, the suspense, both thrilling and gentle, reminding us of the quiet power inherent in water. Even the tiniest fog or dough holds significance. Imagine morning mist settling in valleys, clinging to leaves, nurturing mosses, insects, and tiny plants. The suspense, subtle but vital. Water silently sustaining micro-ecosystems, connecting land, air, and life. Did you know that dew can provide critical hydration to species in arid environments? A quiet, patient intervention by water that ensures survival. The journey of each droplet, a hidden story of endurance, resilience, and life. Water also drives the seasons. Imagine snow forming in high mountains, storing moisture through winter, melting into rivers and lakes as spring arrives, guiding plant growth, animal migrations, and human activities. Did you know that seasonal water cycles have been shaping life for millions of years? Every fluctuation gentle yet profound, every drop participating in a rhythm that connects generations of organisms, ecosystems, and humans. The suspense is continuous, flowing with invisible predictability, yet full of surprises. Consider hurricanes and monsoons, immense systems powered by heat, moisture, and rotation. Imagine droplets spiraling upward, carried by winds, releasing energy, nourishing landscapes with rain, influencing ocean currents. The suspense almost cinematic, yet real, each droplet part of a network stretching across thousands of miles, shaping life, climate, and human history. Did you know that the patterns of these storms can influence crop cycles, freshwater availability, and even the development of civilizations? Water's influence, subtle, immense, and patient, even in arid deserts. Water finds ways to participate in life. Imagine a rare rainfall, droplets landing on dry soil, seeping into cracks, nourishing plants, triggering seeds to sprout, providing drinking water for animals. Did you know that these brief and rare events sustain life in extreme conditions? Each droplet, yet vital in its impact. Water as teacher of patience, endurance, and adaptation. As we reflect on water in the sky, imagine following a single droplet, rising from a lake, floating through clouds, merging with others, falling as rain, trickling into a stream, joining a river, returning to the ocean, and evaporating again. Its journey suspenseful, endless, and essential. Every stage influencing life, climate, and landscapes. Tonight, allow your mind to drift with that droplet, feeling its quiet influence, patient persistence, and the infinite connections it carries. A lullaby of clouds, rain, storms, and the gentle, rhythmic dance of water in the atmosphere. Have you ever wondered how water quietly shaped every forest, wetland, and river valley, guiding life on land with patience, persistence, and unseen force? Could every raindrop, every flowing stream, and every saturated soil particle have nudged evolution in subtle, essential ways? Imagine the suspense of water weaving through ecosystems, connecting plants, animals, and microbes in a hidden network. Tonight, let us drift into the story of freshwater landscapes, exploring how water orchestrates life on land, creating rhythm, balance, and the subtle suspense of survival. Picture yourself walking along a shaded forest stream, the air heavy with humidity, sunlight filtering through the leaves, reflecting off the rippling water. Imagine the gentle sound of water trickling over moss-covered stones, birds calling softly in the distance, insects moving among the ferns, each element part of an intricate, interconnected web. The suspense lies in the invisible relationships, water nourishing roots, carrying nutrients, shaping soil, supporting life in every hidden corner. Every drop, a participant in a grand, patient orchestra of life. Water sculpts landscapes, slowly, invisibly, yet profoundly. Imagine a river meandering through a valley over thousands of years, eroding rock, depositing fertile soil, shaping floodplains, creating habitats for countless species. Did you know that some riverbends have shifted dozens of miles over millennia, quietly redrawing the map of the land, each droplet participating in this patient, invisible dance, shaping life without haste, with suspenseful precision, a reminder of water's immense yet subtle power? Wetlands are among the most suspenseful landscapes. Imagine shallow pools, marshes, and swamps, water lingering just long enough to nurture plants, insects, amphibians, and birds. Did you know that wetlands act as sponges, absorbing floodwaters, filtering sediments, and creating microhabitats? The suspense in these delicate balances is gentle yet vital, every droplet contributing to survival, growth, and the subtle orchestration of life. Water's patience ensuring continuity even in the most unpredictable environments. Now, picture early forests where rainfall saturates the soil, rivers carry nutrients, and small streams feed ponds, ferns and mosses thriving under the canopy, primitive trees reaching for sunlight. Imagine the suspense in this slow, quiet growth, water guiding the expansion of roots, transporting minerals, and creating microclimates. Did you know that the movement of water through soil and plants is essential for life on land, influencing growth patterns, reproduction, and the survival of entire ecosystems? Every drop part of a subtle, patient choreography. Rivers also act as pathways of life. Imagine fish migrating upstream to spawn, insects emerging to feed birds, seeds floating downstream to colonize new areas. Did you know that rivers have guided the movement and evolution of countless species, their currents shaping the very distribution of life? The suspense in each current, gentle yet profound, a reminder that water connects landscapes, species, and generations through its patient, continuous movement. Even small streams and ponds hold hidden suspense. Imagine a droplet falling into a quiet pond, rippling across the surface, nourishing algae, insects, and amphibians. Did you know that these seemingly insignificant movements influence food webs, chemical cycles, and habitat formation? Water acting simultaneously as sustainer and sculptor, shaping life in ways invisible to the eye, each drop a silent architect of survival and continuity. Rainfall is the ultimate suspenseful force. Imagine clouds releasing droplets onto forests, wetlands, and rivers, each drop interacting with leaves, soil, and streams, nourishing plants, triggering seed germination, and replenishing groundwater. Did you know that variations in rainfall can dictate which species thrive and which fade, subtly steering evolution and ecosystem dynamics? The suspense lies in the unpredictability of water's distribution. Yet, in every drop lies opportunity, resilience, and life. Consider the interplay between water and soil. Imagine saturated earth absorbing rain, filtering nutrients, and feeding underground networks of roots and microbes. Did you know that soil moisture directly influences plant growth, carbon cycling, and even climate feedbacks? Every droplet part of an invisible process that sustains life. Water as patient connector, bridging the seen and unseen, nurturing complexity and balance with gentle suspense. Consider rainfall and seasonal cycles. Imagine monsoon rains flooding plains, nourishing plants, replenishing rivers, and triggering breeding cycles. Did you know that precipitation patterns were crucial for the reproductive success of many species, influencing migration, growth, and competition? The suspense in every storm subtle, unpredictable, yet entirely necessary. Water teaching patience, timing, and the delicate art of balance, even underground. Water influenced prehistoric life. Imagine aquifers, springs, and underground rivers providing hidden reservoirs. Did you know that some ancient species relied on these hidden waters for survival during dry periods? The suspense, almost invisible, yet critical. Water guiding life, even where it could not be seen, shaping evolution, survival, and resilience in subtle ways. Wetlands created suspenseful, dynamic ecosystems. Imagine marshes and swamps teeming with insects, amphibians, small reptiles, and young dinosaurs. Every flood and ebb influencing species interactions, nutrient distribution, and plant growth. Did you know that wetlands were among the most productive habitats of prehistoric Earth? Water acting as both stabilizer and catalyst, quietly sustaining life. Every droplet participating in the intricate, patient orchestration of ecosystems. Even oceans held suspenseful stories. Imagine shallow seas teeming with ichthyosaurs, plesiosaurs, ammonites, and early fish. Waves carrying nutrients, influencing temperature, and guiding migration. Did you know that ocean currents affected the distribution of species across continents? Water shaping evolution, climate, and survival. The suspense hidden in every current, tide, and ripple. A reminder of the quiet but immense influence of water. Consider the role of water in extinction events. Imagine massive floods, shifting coastlines, and glacial movements altering habitats. Did you know that water has both nurtured and challenged life repeatedly, forcing adaptation, migration, and evolution? The suspense in these events, both gentle and overwhelming, a reminder that water's patience encompasses both creation and transformation, shaping life through cycles of stability and change. Even in prehistoric deserts and arid landscapes, imagine the suspense of rare rainfall, seeping into soil, nourishing plants, filling temporary ponds. Did you know that these fleeting moments of water availability determine survival for countless species? Every drop carrying immense significance. Water teaching the value of patience, timing, and adaptability, quietly shaping evolution in the harshest conditions. As we reflect on water's influence in prehistoric times, imagine following a single droplet, falling as rain, soaking soil, flowing into a river, reaching a lake, nourishing plants and animals, eventually evaporating to return to the sky. Its journey suspenseful, endless, and essential. every stage influencing ecosystems, evolution, and survival across continents and eras. Tonight, allow your mind to drift with that droplet, feeling its quiet guidance, patient persistence, and profound role in the age of dinosaurs and ancient life, a lullaby of rivers, lakes, wetlands, oceans, and the timeless, invisible hand of water shaping life over millions of years. Have you ever wondered how water guided life after the age of dinosaurs, quietly shaping the rise of mammals, the flight of birds, and the sprawling ecosystems we recognize today? Could every river, lake, rainfall, and ocean current have influenced the survival and spread of species in subtle, invisible ways? Imagine the suspense of life navigating this transformed world, adapting to climates, terrains, and waterways. Tonight, let us drift into the story of water shaping modern ecosystems, connecting creatures, landscapes, and climates in ways both gentle and profound. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a vast, sunlit wetland, morning mist rising from the water, reeds swaying gently in the breeze. Imagine herds of early mammals drinking cautiously at the banks, birds skimming the surface, insects buzzing softly above. Every movement part of a quiet, suspenseful rhythm, water nurturing life while also challenging it, every droplet essential, every ripple carrying influence, shaping survival, behavior, and evolution. Water sculpted landscapes in the post-dinosaur era with patient persistence. Imagine rivers carving valleys, lakes forming in basins left by glaciers, wetlands expanding across lowlands. Did you know that the shifting of water across continents influenced migration routes, food availability, and habitat distribution? The suspense lies in the subtle, continuous movement of water, invisible yet essential, guiding life, creating opportunity, and shaping the future of ecosystems. Even the smallest streams held immense significance. Imagine droplets feeding mosses, ferns, and small shrubs, nourishing insects, amphibians, and early mammals. Did you know that these tiny sources of fresh water often determined the survival of juvenile animals, influencing the distribution of species and the emergence of new ecological niches? The suspense in these hidden movements of water, gentle yet profound, shaping life one droplet at a time. Consider rainfall and seasonal cycles. Imagine heavy rains, swelling rivers, replenishing lakes, saturating soils. Did you know that the timing, intensity, and distribution of rainfall directly influenced the reproductive cycles, migrations, and feeding behavior of mammals and birds? Water quietly orchestrating life through rhythm and patience, every drop carrying suspense, possibility, and the promise of growth, survival, and adaptation. Water also created corridors of connection. Imagine early mammals moving along riverbanks, lakeshores, and wetlands, birds following watercourses during migration, insects carried by moist air. Did you know that these networks allowed species to disperse, colonize new areas, and exchange genetic material? The suspense lies in the continuous, unseen pathways created by water, guiding life with invisible precision. Even in oceans and estuaries, water played a crucial role. Imagine tidal flats, estuaries, and coastal wetlands teeming with life, fish, birds, and early mammals relying on these habitats. Did you know that estuaries are among the most productive ecosystems on Earth, providing food, shelter, and breeding grounds? Every wave, current, and droplet shaping the survival of countless species. The suspense, continuous, invisible, and essential. Wetlands continued to nurture life. Imagine vast marshes and swamps filled with reeds, flowering plants, amphibians, birds, and mammals. Every flood and ebb influencing nutrient distribution, species interaction, and reproductive success. Did you know that wetlands act as natural water filters, flood absorbers, and climate regulators? Every droplet participating in a delicate, patient balance, water both stabilizer and catalyst, silently sustaining life. Rivers, lakes, and streams also influenced human evolution. Imagine early hominins gathering by freshwater sources, drinking, fishing, and using water for hygiene and social interaction. Did you know that proximity to water influenced settlement patterns, social structures, and survival strategies? The suspense in every choice connected to water, gentle yet significant, guiding the behaviors, movement, and evolution of early humans, even in arid regions. Imagine rare rainfall filling temporary ponds, saturating soils, nourishing sparse vegetation. Did you know that these fleeting water sources determine survival for small mammals, birds, and reptiles? Every droplet a suspenseful intervention, teaching resilience, patience, and adaptation. Water shaping life even in harshest conditions, invisible yet essential. Consider the role of water in shaping climate and weather patterns. Imagine oceans regulating temperature, rivers influencing humidity, rainfall distributing energy across continents. Did you know that water's movement has always been a major force in determining the distribution of ecosystems, guiding evolution and shaping the survival of species? The suspense, subtle yet immense, every droplet part of a planetary network of connection and influence. Even clouds and fog contributed. Imagine mist rising from wetlands, rivers and lakes carrying moisture, nutrients, and seeds, nourishing distant landscapes. Did you know that atmospheric water supports ecological continuity across regions, connecting mountains, plains, and forests? Every droplet participating in an invisible choreography of life, suspenseful in its unpredictability, patient in its persistence, essential in its impact. As forests and grasslands matured, water maintained a delicate balance. Imagine droplets feeding roots, replenishing streams, and sustaining microclimates. Did you know that evapotranspiration from plants recycles water into the atmosphere, influencing rainfall patterns and ecosystem health? Every droplet part of a continuous cycle connecting land, air, and life. The suspense, gentle yet profound. Water quietly orchestrating survival and growth across continents. Finally, imagine following a single droplet, rising from rainfall, soaking soil, nourishing a plant, joining a stream, flowing into a river, reaching a lake, evaporating back into the sky. Every stage suspenseful, essential, and transformative, influencing ecosystems, species, and landscapes across time. Tonight, allow your mind to drift with that droplet, feeling its patient guidance, quiet persistence, an invisible yet profound influence, a lullaby of rivers, wetlands, lakes, oceans, clouds, and the timeless, interconnected dance of water shaping life. Have you ever wondered how water quietly guided the development of early human societies, influencing where villages were built, how crops were grown, and how civilizations took shape? Could every river, spring, and rainfall have steered innovation, survival, and culture in ways invisible yet profound? Imagine the suspense of early humans observing the flow of water, learning to work with it, harness it, and respect it. Tonight, let us drift into the story of water shaping human ingenuity and societal evolution. Picture yourself beside a gently flowing river thousands of years ago. Morning mist rising from the surface, sunlight glinting on the ripples. Imagine early humans approaching cautiously, drinking, bathing, gathering freshwater plants, and observing fish, the sound of water steady, comforting, yet commanding attention, every ripple, every drop carrying suspense and potential, shaping decisions, behaviors, and the formation of communities. Water determined where settlements could flourish. Did you know that almost every early civilization emerged along rivers, lakes, or floodplains, providing drinking water, irrigation, transportation, and food? Imagine the suspense in selecting a location, balancing proximity to water with protection from floods, predators, and rival groups. The gentle persistence of water offering both opportunity and caution, guiding human behavior and social structures. Consider the role of water in agriculture. Imagine early humans learning to channel river water into fields, constructing simple canals and reservoirs. Did you know that irrigation allowed crops to grow beyond seasonal rainfall, supporting larger populations and more complex societies? The suspense in this innovation, quiet but profound, water teaching patience, foresight, and the delicate balance between human ambition and natural rhythms. Even rainfall influenced survival. Imagine the first rains saturating soil, triggering seed germination and replenishing drinking sources. Did you know that the predictability of seasonal rainfall shaped calendars, planting schedules, and cultural rituals? Every drop carrying potential, risk, and reward. Water quietly guiding human understanding, encouraging observation, and fostering knowledge over generations. Rivers served as highways of connection. Imagine small canoes gliding along calm waters, carrying goods, seeds, and ideas between settlements. Did you know that early trade networks often followed river courses, water connecting communities, nurturing exchange, and shaping the spread of culture and technology? Every current a quiet conduit of influence, suspenseful in its continuity and reliability. Floods brought both danger and opportunity. Imagine seasonal rivers overflowing their banks, depositing fertile silt while threatening homes and crops. Did you know that managing these floods inspired early engineering, floodplain agriculture, and urban planning? The suspense in balancing risk and reward, subtle yet essential. Water teaching humans resilience, ingenuity, and patience. Wells and springs held quiet suspense. Imagine hidden freshwater sources in arid landscapes, sustaining life when rivers ran low. Did you know that control over water access often determined social hierarchies, security, and the expansion of settlements? Every droplet essential, carrying influence beyond its immediate presence. guiding the formation of communities and power structures. Water also inspired early technology. Imagine humans fashioning canals, dams, and water wheels, harnessing currents for milling, irrigation, and energy. Did you know that some of these innovations date back thousands of years, laying the foundation for modern engineering? The suspense in each invention, gentle yet transformative. Water as mentor, teacher, and collaborator in human progress. Even simple tools for water collection and storage held suspense. Imagine clay pots, reservoirs, and cisterns capturing rainfall and river water. Did you know that these technologies allowed civilizations to endure droughts, expand agriculture, and support growing populations? Every droplet carefully conserved, every action influencing survival and growth. Water shaping ingenuity through necessity and opportunity. Consider the spiritual and cultural significance of water. Imagine early humans observing rivers, lakes, and rainfall as sacred, attributing mystery, power, and divine presence to flowing waters. Did you know that water often featured in rituals, myths, and ceremonies, embedding respect, reverence, and awe into human consciousness? The suspense, subtle yet profound, water shaping both physical and cultural landscapes. Every droplet carrying lessons of patience, connection, and wonder, even in arid regions. Imagine rare rainfall saturating dry soils, filling cisterns, and sustaining crops. Did you know that societies adapted with storage, irrigation, and seasonal planning? The suspense in scarcity, gentle yet crucial. Water teaching resilience, foresight, and the subtle art of survival, guiding human adaptation over generations. Rivers, lakes, and springs also influenced governance and cooperation. Imagine communities organizing around shared water sources, establishing rules for access, maintenance, and distribution. Did you know that the management of water was often central to early political systems? The suspense, gentle yet persistent, water quietly guiding social cohesion, cooperation, and collective innovation, shaping civilization in both practical and profound ways. As agriculture matured, imagine fields thriving along rivers, crops nourished by irrigation, settlements expanding into towns, every droplet contributing to sustenance and growth. Did you know that these advances allowed humans to focus on art, technology, and cultural expression, water enabling civilization to flourish? The suspense, subtle yet transformative, a reminder that life and innovation are inseparable from the patient guidance of water. Finally, imagine following a single droplet, falling as rain, soaking soil, nourishing a crop, flowing into a canal, reaching a village, supporting people and livestock. Its journey suspenseful, endless, and essential. Every stage influencing agriculture, settlement, technology, and culture. Tonight, allow your mind to drift with that droplet, feeling its quiet guidance, patient persistence, and profound impact on the rise of human societies. A lullaby of rivers, rainfall, irrigation, canals, and the timeless, invisible hand of water shaping human ingenuity and civilization.